Hey, I wanted to take a moment to review some numbers that I just reviewed with a client today who was pre-approved in the spring. Rates were lower, but the market, as you know, was much, much more intense, where you really had to bid up the price of the home about 10%. Also, be able to cover that appraisal spread, which could mean tens of thousands of dollars extra to a closing if the home did not appraise. Where when we compare that to now, where you do not have to bid up the price of a home. In fact, the sellers will give you a concession to help you buy down the interest rate. And at the end of the day, you owe a lot less money the day of closing. So let me share my screen here. I'll show you what I reviewed with them. So when they were looking around a $550,000, $600,000 purchase price in the spring. We know that a home in the spring, and really for the past 2 years, that was listed at 550 to be the winning offer in most cases, because there were so many offers on homes, you pretty much had to bid it up about 10%. So let's say they were going to have to pay 600,000, assuming the home appraised, and they didn't have to cover a $50,000 appraisal gap. They would get a rate somewhere around 4.75. They would owe 540, and they need about $65,000 at closing. Again, that's assuming that the home appraised and that they didn't have to bring 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 extra the day of closing just to get the deal to work, because they would not have gotten their offer accepted if they didn't offer the appraisal gap coverage to the seller. Payment would have been $3,100. Okay, now fall of 2022, market has cooled. A home that's listed at 550, let's say you pay 550, you can ask the seller easily to negotiate a $10,000 seller credit, which your lender can use to buy down the interest rate from, let's say, high fives, low sixes, depending when, it's been so volatile, really, depending on the day. You can buy that down closer to 5%. You actually end up with a payment that's about $83 less, and you need at minimum $5,000 less to a closing, or maybe up to $50,000 less to a closing if you had to cover an appraisal gap in the spring. Okay, at the end of the day, though, you owe $45,000 less, okay, than if you bought in the spring. The interest rate, those are temporary. When rates move lower, as they will as we enter in a recession historically, we'll be able to do a refinance for you and drop that payment. But the amount that you owe, that's forever. So let us know if we can run any numbers for you, because we are just seeing some amazing opportunities for buyers, especially first-time buyers with limited down payment, to enter the market and buy a home they can call their own.